This was the last makeup routine I did, and I did this look and filmed it, so I thought I'll talk you guys through this one as well. First things first, you always have to start with pinning your hair back, making sure there's nothing in the way of your face. And then of course, a good makeup look also comes with a clean, nicely prepped face, and this is the primer I use, our Power Grip Primer. And then I apply this evenly around my face, making sure everything is covered. Quick little disclaimer, I'm not going to be calling out every single makeup item that I use, but if you would like to know, feel free to comment and I will definitely get back to you guys on that. I have never been one to do much to my eyebrows. Literally use the red one gummy, whatever edge control I have, brush them up, then use a black eyeliner or black eyebrow pencil to just fill it in a bit. Again, not too much, not too heavy handed, because then it will look like blocks, but my brow looks are always very subtle and like nothing too extra and bold. And then making sure I'm always shaping it as I go, so the colouring and the shape, everything is controlled and not runny or messy. For my foundation, I use a L'Oreal True Match. I think my shade is an 8. Not sure, so don't quote me on that. And I use a flat makeup brush to basically tap and pat in the makeup all around my face. I want to make sure that the makeup is like evenly spread as well. I don't want any patches where it's really obvious that you're not wearing foundation, because I feel like the colour that you can honestly notice, but that's nothing you also like can't fix. Then the next step comes concealer. You want to use a concealer that is closer to your skin shade, and then these are my concealer placements. So I think I used 3 concealers in total. This is the first one. It's also from Elf. Also making sure you're highlighting your nose. Now I use the Made by Mitchell Curve Case to bronze and contour my face. So these are also my placements. You want to make sure you're not dragging down, like you're not dragging the brush down all the way to like your lip or like the lower part of your cheek. Making sure you also getting it under your face so that contour effect also appears. And you also want a bronzed forehead because it looks so good in pictures. Learned this placement from Uche and I absolutely love it. Like I do it all the time now. To help make things easier to blend as well, make sure you're using a setting mist in between steps. And after I've done all those steps, here comes blending out the concealer. I like to keep the concealer centered to like the middle of my face, because I have noticed that if you start dragging that concealer brush down your face, it's just gonna look so runny. You're gonna look like a completely different skin tone. But blending is key, so make sure you're blending till it's seamless. Now I'm going in with my second concealer, and I just do 2 dots, and again blend it out, not drag it out too much. And after that step, set a mist again. Here is where it honestly just comes down to blending and making sure that all the harsh lines are not, harsh. Making sure the bronzer is blended out. You can't really see the obvious lines between the concealer and the bronzer because it is so noticeable. So literally just make sure you're blending till you yourself are sure that everything is good. This look didn't require that much blush, so I did not use that much. And then I used a really thin and flat brush to contour my nose. I then go in with my foundation brush and really make that sharp line underneath my cheekbone. And with that same brush, just pat into like my face to make sure that everything is actually blended in together really well. And here comes my third and final brightest concealer. Because this is the brightest concealer, you want to make sure that it is honestly just focused right below your eye. Like you do not want to drag it to the other side of your face. The brightness should really be focused. And again, keep blending till you feel like you can't blend no more. And now we're about to get to my favorite part, the powders. So I use this Fit Me Pressed powder, and I absolutely love the finish on it. Like it gives you that bright under eye. It gets you the seamless look that you want. You know, that filter-like finish. That's what we need. Now, when it comes to bronzing, you literally just use the powder over where you used the cream bronzers before. So cheekbones, forehead, jawline, those places. Also, don't forget the eye creases because it just adds a little bit of colour and it just looks really cute. Then I use the powdered blushes from the same palette because I used the cream blush from this palette as well. And of course, since I was wearing a melt band, I had to take that off and make sure my forehead was actually bronzed all the way up properly because you can see the difference. Bronzing around my nose as well, so everything has colour to it. I then go in with my baking powder and apply this on all the bright spots in my face. Obviously this is the part where you're gonna brush off all of this anyways, but I'm actually thinking of transitioning to a translucent powder instead of this one because I'm not really feeling the yellow undertone it has anymore. And then I used a different kind of pressed powder now, which this one is from Made by Mitchell as well, and I got a really light shade and started putting it on my face, and I feel like at this point I was so scared. I thought I was ruining my makeup, but because you can brush and set all of this in place, it honestly does come all together at the very end. But again, don't be scared like I was, because obviously as you can see here, I used a foundation powder to then go in and really press everything into my face so everything just worked out in my favour and the colours were honestly blended in together properly. I also used my bronzed powder as eyeshadow. To make sure my lip combo lasts really long, I just mattify it with the baking powder and then get my lip liner. I wanted to go for a brown lip liner today, so I got this lip liner from Shein, and then I also wanted a pink nudish lip, more nudish than pink, but I used this nude lipstick that I got from Primark and then went over it with this lip gloss. I think a lip gloss from NYX is always a staple in every girl's lip combo. Another favourite makeup step of mine is that dark waterline. I feel like whether you have lashes or not, a dark waterline just brings that eye look together even more. But in my case, I had gotten custom strip lashes made. This was a look for all, but thank you guys so much for watching. Now cue the music for the final look.
You got everything I'm looking for in a lady. You're just classy, but still not. Wanna